Who stands before Ivar Ragnar?
Välkommen allesammans, welcome back to the channel where we give Assassins Creed Valhalla reviews, news, and tutorials from a historically accurate point of view. And today we are speaking about the storyline and giving a little info on the sons of Ragnar Lothbok. Most of you have probably seen the TV show Vikings and you know who these guys are. It appears as though the sons of Ragnar are also going to be a big part of the storyline in the new Assassin's Creed game. So I hope most of you know that the TV show Vikings is not super historically accurate, but will the game be more accurate? That's the question. Well, let's look at the truth about these sons of Ragnar and what the historical sources actually say. So first of all, we're not entirely sure that Ragnar even existed. It's heavily debated by scholars. The reason for this is that there are just way too many conflicting records of Ragnar. Some stories say that he was a king, some say that he was not a king, some say he invaded France, some say he was Swedish, some say he was Danish, and then some stories about Ragnar just seem like fairy tales with totally fictional events. Ragnar was a very common name at that time, so it's very well possible that it could have been many different people in all of these stories and sagas. But anyway, we don't know if Ragnar existed and if the stories are true, but we do know quite a lot about his sons and that they were actually very real historical figures. So they came to England with the great heathen army in the year 865. We know this for sure from the sources. But this was actually a series of many different factions actually invading from different places, and they weren't all united under one ruler. They were just kind of said to be organized by the sons of Ragnar. But anyway, this was actually said to be in retaliation for Ragnar being killed by King Ela in the snake pit. So that does seem like it actually did happen from what we have in the sources. Some of these sons, we have Ivar the Boneless, Ubba, Halfdan, Bjorn Ironside, Hvitserk, and Sigurd, Snake in the Eye. But there were probably many more sons that he had, and the ones we really have the most records of from reliable sources were Ivar the Boneless and Halfdan. And Halfdan was actually not even in the TV show like the others. But anyway, Ivar, he was the one that kind of organized the army for the first bulk of the invasion, and then he kind of just disappeared from the history books in the year 870. After that is when Halfdan took over and started waging war all over Britain. The great heathen army showed up, like I said, in 865 and wreaked havoc for almost 20 years. So the Assassin's Creed game is supposed to be set in 873, so the time frame absolutely lines up well, although in the year 873, like in this game, Ivar the Boneless in real life was probably dead, or some sources say he was in Ireland by this time and kind of lost. But most of this is pretty accurate, and I am very curious to see about the relationship between the sons of Ragnar and our playable character Ivar. Don't forget, the sons of Ragnar were Danes, and the Vikings that we are playing as in this game are from Norway. And the two didn't always get along. Sometimes the Norwegians fought on the side of the Danes, but sometimes they fought on the side of the English. It seems, as in this game, that the Danes are depicted as the bad guys, and the Anglo-Saxons are depicted as the ones that we are supposed to ally ourselves with and help. I'm not a big fan of that. It's probably not how it really happened at this particular time. Later on in history, Norwegians would have been more helpful towards the English kings from what we see in the sagas, but at this time, in the first invasions of England, we Norwegians would have been chomping at the bits to fight with the Danes against the English. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you had to choose a side, which one would you? Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more news, tutorials, and historical background. And if you're really interested in the spiritual and the religious beliefs of the pagan Norse from legitimate historical sources, you can check out my other channel. That link is in the description below. Vi ses nästa gång.